4:12 p.m. Simba was as big as his roar. He rubbed his thick black mane back and forth along the chain-link holding area with such force that Chase was afraid the wire was going to snap. Nicole didn't seem the least bit concerned. She put her fingers through the links and scratched Simba under the chin. Simba's 13. He was born the same year I was. Which means we're the same age, Chase thought. Why isn't Simba with the show? He mauled our trainer a couple of years ago. Chase took a small step backward, which he hoped Nicole hadn't noticed. How badly? It could have been worse. Nicole continued scratching Simba's chin. The trainer could have been killed, and Simba might have been shot. The trainer was in the hospital for 2 weeks. We decided it was time for Simba to retire, but I think he misses the road. What about the trainer? He's back up with the show. Getting mauled is no big deal. Unless you're the one getting mauled. I suppose that's true, Nicole agreed, but most cat trainers will tell you that getting mauled is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how bad the mauling is going to be. Nicole led him outside the building to an attached enclosure with 4 more lions. 3 lionesses and 1 lion, she pointed. You can see the male's just starting to get his mane. He was about half the size of Simba. Will he be in the show someday? Maybe. He was someone's idea of a wonderful pet. The state confiscated him. He was starving when they brought him in. We take in a lot of animals like that. I think there are as many exotic animals in private hands in Florida as there are pools. We get the animals back on their feet and give them to rehabilitation facilities or zoos. Sometimes we put them in the show, but not very often. Not all animals are cut out for the circus. Not all people either. How about you? Nicole laughed. Oh, I think it's a foregone conclusion that I'll be in the circus when I grow up. That is, if there are circuses. They aren't as popular as they used to be. A lot of them have folded. One way or another, I'll be working with animals. If the circus dies, I'm going to be a marine mammal veterinarian. What about you, Chase Masters? She turned her beautiful brown eyes on him. What are you going to be when you grow up? Chase had spent a lot of time thinking about this. Like his father, he was good with his hands. He enjoyed building and fixing things, but he wasn't sure he wanted to become a contractor or builder. I'm not sure, he said. Maybe I'll become a lion tamer. Funny. Why isn't Simba out here with the other lions? He doesn't get along with them. We alternate him outside by himself every other day. Nicole led Chase over to another building. Inside was a leopard named Hector. Odd name, Chase said. Odd cat. We didn't name him. He was confiscated from a drug runner. Hector was a third of Simba's size, but for some reason he looked a lot more lethal. He paced back and forth restlessly. You don't want to get too close to Hector, Nicole said. He's very aggressive and fast as lightning. I'm surprised the drug runner who owned him lived long enough to get arrested. What are you going to do with him? He's not going on the show, that's for sure. Dad has a couple of zoos that are interested. He'll be leaving the farm soon, but that won't be soon enough for me. Old Hector is as bright as he is fast. Getting him into the holding area so we can clean his cage is a major ordeal. About half the time, he gets in and out of the holding area with the meat we bait him in with before we can even close the door. He figured out that he could get a double portion that way on his first day here. He doesn't look fat, Chase said. He's not. He burns calories pacing and lunging at us when we get within reach of his claws. In the cage next to Hector's, an ancient brown bear slept curled in a corner. Across from the cages were 2 large stalls. 3 zebras stood together in one, and the other held 4 ostriches. At the far end of the building was an indoor-outdoor aviary filled with colorful parrots. As strange and wonderful as the animals were, the thing that was beginning to interest Chase the most was his tour guide. He was looking forward to staying on the farm, learning about circuses, and Nicole. Do you let people come up here to see the animals? He asked. Friends, she said. We try to keep a low profile. We're not really set up for visitors, but that might change with the baby elephant. You have a baby elephant? Almost. What do you mean? Instead of answering, Nicole led him to the only building they hadn't been in, which was by far the largest. The 3 other buildings would have easily all fit inside. This is where we rehearse the acts and train the animals during the winter. And that's the bunkhouse for the roughnecks. She pointed to a smaller attached building to the right. What's a roughneck? They drive the trucks, put up the big top, set up the rings, cages, apparatus, assist the animal trainers and performers. Without them, there wouldn't be a show. Arturo is a roughneck, but he doesn't live in the bunkhouse. He's been with the circus for nearly 30 years and pretty much runs the farm now. He has a house on the property. The bunkhouse is empty at the moment, except for my dad. He's been sleeping down here for a couple of weeks. Why? I'll show you. Nicole opened the door. The building was lit with bright spotlights hanging from the ceiling, shining down on 3 large circus rings. The ring closest to them had a steel cage in the center, which Chase assumed was for the big cats. The middle ring had a huge safety net stretched across it. Hanging above the net was a tight wire and an array of trapeze equipment. Marco Rossi was in the 3rd ring, hosing down an elephant and scrubbing her wrinkled gray skin with a long-handled deck brush. "How's it going, Dad?" Nicole said. "I should have gotten AC in here years ago," he said. "It's like a furnace." "We could open the doors on each end." "Right, and Pet will pull her leg off trying to get outside." Chase noticed the elephant had chains around her left front foot and her rear right foot. "Why is she chained?" "So she doesn't float to the ceiling," Nicole and Marco said in unison, then started laughing. "Sorry, Chase," Marco said. "Old circus joke. Can't help ourselves. On the show, people ask that question 1,000 times a day. Elephants are chained to a picket line so they don't run off or whack somebody." He handed the hose and brush to Nicole and stepped out of the ring. "In the case of Pet here, we have her chained up so she doesn't dismantle the building. We don't have an elephant-proof building on the farm. The elephants we use in our show winter in Texas. Our elephant guy has a good setup down there. And Pet would be there right now, but she's 22 months pregnant, and we didn't want to risk trucking her that far so close to term. Elephant births in captivity are rare. We've never had one in the 100 years our circus has been on the road. So, as you might imagine, we're pretty excited. And nervous," Nicole added, shooting a stream of water into Pet's open mouth. "I'll admit it," Marco said. "I'm nervous. What if something goes wrong? Our vet doesn't know anything about elephant births." "Not many vets do," Nicole said. "There's a doc on the West Coast who'd seen dozens of elephants born. I've been on the phone with him every day, offered him a fortune to fly out here and supervise the birth, but he said it would be a waste of money. He told me that Pet will take care of her calf when she has it. She'll take care of it, or she won't. It'll be healthy or unhealthy. He'll come out after it's born if there's a problem." "When's the baby due?" "Anytime now. We're not exactly sure when she was bred. As elephants go, Pet's pretty steady, but the past few days she's been acting up. She can't seem to get comfortable when she lies down. She's off her feed, and yesterday she took a poke at me with her trunk for no good reason, which is really out of character for her. Normally, she's the most easygoing elephant I've ever been around." Nicole turned the hose off, wound it up out of Pet's reach, then joined them. "Your grandmother's looking for you," Marco said. "She said something about not finishing your laps." "I finished most of them," Nicole said. "I came down to help. You can't take care of everything here, especially with an elephant calf on its way." "I managed to take care of the farm long before you were born," Marco reminded her. "Your grandmother also said that she needs help with the boxes, and something about sweet potato pie?" Nicole smiled. "I'll go. Take Chase with you. She's probably already mad at you for not taking him to the house to introduce him." "You didn't take him up to the house either," Nicole teased. "I have pachyderm problems. What's your excuse?" "We better go," Nicole said. They left Marco and Pet and started up a long, twisting driveway to a farmhouse overlooking the enclosures and buildings. "Are there any other animals on the farm?" Chase asked. "Aside from Mama Rossi's squirrel monkey Poco? No." "Who's Mama Rossi?" "My grandmother. She's up at the house packing." "Where's she going?" "She thinks the hurricane is going to hit the house." "My dad's pretty good at predicting the weather. He said it's going to make landfall south of here, probably around St. Pete." "Mama Rossi is rarely wrong," Nicole said. "She can see the future, and sometimes even the past."